Hey everybody. Like Whitney said, Micaiah Filkins. I'm with App Frontier. So we were actually the first payment processing solution to be listed on the Salesforce.com App Exchange. So those of you that might not be familiar with that, so Salesforce, #1 CRM. I think most of us know them. They have some rather large buildings downtown, their App Exchange. Think something similar to Apple App Store or something like that. So Salesforce customers can easily go to Salesforce.com. download our payment solution and be up and running in about an hour and a half or so, depending on their configuration. So one of the things we've always really focused on is being exceptionally developer-friendly and developer-focused. So we have an API that you can tie into. We also have a payment request feature that I'll show you in a moment. It's basically a hosted payments page that folks can get into. Then also on the Salesforce platform, you can access our own methods inside of your Salesforce language. So we've become very popular with consulting firms and developers that want to be able to extend our platform. So that's kind of at a very high level, kind of who we are and kind of where we've come from. Folks tend to think of us as a virtual terminal that sits very nicely inside of Salesforce. And I don't know how familiar folks are typically with payment processing until I started this. I don't know that I was extremely familiar with it. But you've basically got a gateway. A gateway communicates with an acquirer, and an acquirer puts money in your bank account. That's vastly oversimplified, but for our purposes of this demonstration, I think it'll be useful. So one of the main things that our app does, and I'm sorry I'm speaking so fast, I'm trying to get this done in 5 minutes, which I usually do it in 25 minutes. So one thing about our app is you can put as many gateways as you want. One of our customers has 50 different gateways configured in our app. That means money can go to 50 different bank accounts for them, which is very useful. Another one of our customers went to one of our consulting partners and actually had them set up, they did kind of a load balancing concept, so certain charges go to certain different gateways. We support 15 different gateways today. This is a list of the ones that we support. You probably notice all the majors, right? PayPal, PayFlow Pro, Authorize.net, Lytle, now Vantiv. We support CyberSource as well, and a number of others. And so that's one of the things that's very unique about our solution is we roll in new gateways whenever a customer asks. We've got 2 more in development today. So, basically to use our app, it's fairly straightforward. If any of you have used Salesforce before, Opportunities was probably a very kind of central part of your focus and how you use Salesforce. And so the first place we integrated was Salesforce Opportunity. We actually work on both cases, so say you wanted to do a paid case, then you could run the credit card directly from the case. We also support our own custom object called Salesforce, or called Chargent orders, excuse me. Salesforce rolled out their own orders object a few months ago, and we got to relabel ours, which we appreciated. And so but the idea is if you want to get kind of very sophisticated in your use, you'd use Chargent orders. You can be fairly sophisticated. So here I just ran a basic transaction. I already had this all set up, so I had a payment card already set up inside of here. I had everything kind of pre-baked here. And you can see that I charged them for what is it? I really need to change this. I always get stumbled up. It's $1,111.11. And so, but you can see we captured all the data back from the gateway. So we've got the gateway ID, which if you need to reconcile with what's inside of your gateway ID, finance could simply go in and do that. We also keep all the debug information directly on, so we can see this happens to be an HTTP post request. Most of our gateways are actually on XML these days. But we keep all the data inside of Salesforce. So if you're a Salesforce customer, that's very important to you because now you can run your own Apex triggers off our stuff. You can run your own workflows off from our stuff, run all of your own reporting, and so on. So that's a basic transaction, one-time transaction. We also do recurring transactions. So if I go pop open this one opportunity, I'm running $2.22 on this opportunity every day. And if we go down here, you can see that it's running consistently, bing, 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 every day. So just real briefly, a report. So because we are 100% Salesforce native, all your data resides in Salesforce. We do support tokenization, for those of you familiar with that feature. Basically, you don't have to keep any of the data, any of the credit card data inside Salesforce. So it massively lowers your PCI scope that you have to be responsible for. And also Salesforce is PCI DSS level 1 compliant, meaning your data at rest inside of Salesforce is covered under PCI compliance, also lowering your scope. So the kind of point to this report is really that you can see that, I've had 382 transactions in this particular org, and I've got every single field that relates to it. So I keep this up to show customers that they really can report on any of the data inside of Salesforce. So one of the features that we're particularly proud of is our Senpai Request. So not exactly novel functionality, but a lot of our customers are finding it very useful. And that somebody calls up and says, hey, I'd like to buy that, but I don't want to give you the credit card over the phone for any number of reasons. And so you can just simply put in an email address here. And I won't go fetch the email because of time and so on. But basically what happens is we create a send request. Now again, being developer friendly, we've got one customer that's sending out 20,000 of these every day. And they're doing renewals for one of the major antivirus solutions out there. So they send out 20,000 of these pay requests. Obviously, nobody wants to go click that button 20,000 times. And so they use a data loader to insert 20,000 records every morning, 20,000 emails get sent out on their behalf. And what happens is it creates one of these little pay request objects. And if I click the link, which if I look at the correct related list, will be right here, then somebody can come to here and fill out their credit card information as soon as the page refreshes. And so Salesforce is a little slow on me today. So this is all 100% Salesforce native. There we go. And then this is the final thing. I'm getting the wave off here. That's for authorize.net. This is a Stripes gateway. So you get the idea. We were pretty happy with this little UI that we came up with. If you notice, the colors were changing as I got accurate data. So anyways, that's basically what we're up to. Thanks for enduring my 5 minutes.